Good morning from the National Weather Service in Raleigh, North Carolina, with the routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. My name is Aaron Swiggett, and I will be providing the briefing for y'all today, covering the period from the 9th of January through the 15th. Hard to believe that mid-January is only 7 days away. All right, so we'll start with the upcoming weather pattern here. So as you can see in the top left panel for today, this is valid 7 p.m. today, but we'll most likely just have high pressure sitting over the southeast, and that will kind of just meander north and eastward with time. Even through Wednesday, you kind of see the remnants of it still in the upper right-hand panel here, 7 a.m. on Wednesday. On Thursday, this bottom left panel is where we're going to be mostly focusing. But in between today and to Wednesday, we'll mostly have the high pressure kind of settling in over our area, and that'll be bringing in temperatures into a warming trend, and we'll be approaching 10 to 15 degrees above normal for highs, lows during that time. Thursday should still be pretty warm. We'll have some nice southerly flow out ahead of this low pressure system that's kind of digging into the Tennessee Valley. So we'll still have maybe 15 on average degrees above normal across Thursday, especially during the daytime. But then that cold front, this cold front is going to kind of combine and push east on Thursday, approaching central North Carolina, and that's going to bring most likely rain with some isolated thunderstorms Thursday evening into early Friday. And then back behind that, we'll have some high pressure back behind the cold front, and we'll settle back in over the area, but bringing in some cooler temperatures, and we'll actually be near to maybe even slightly below normal for temperatures in mid-January. Here's a quick reminder of what the current drought monitor looked like from Thursday's briefing. So we still have no drought conditions across most of western North Carolina, even into the central and northern portions of North Carolina. But we still have this expansive area of D0 and even D1 across like the coastal plain into even the southern Sandhills and southern Piedmont there. Not a whole lot has changed there. Just a quick reminder on where we're sitting at. Okay, so for Thursday, what are we expecting for accumulated precipitation? Today, Tuesday, Wednesday will all be dry, sitting under that high pressure. But as the high pressure shifts offshore and that cold front approaches us from the west, we'll have some band of rain moving through all of eastern United States, with the highest rainfall mostly expected in the mountainous regions, maybe down towards into upstate South Carolina. But you do see an area of some blue up across the western Piedmont area into the Triad, and that is between 1/2 inch and maybe 3/4 inch. With maybe closer to 1/4 to 1/2 inch across the triangle down into the Fayetteville area, and then pushing a little bit farther east into the coastal plain, we have maybe a 1/10 to 1/4. So unfortunately, with where we have those drought conditions, again, similar to our last system that we had, the areas that need the rainfall are most likely, unfortunately, going to miss out on some beneficial rain, at least the beneficial rain that they need to kind of remove that drought conditions. And again, this on Thursday is most likely going to be falling Thursday evening into Thursday night, with maybe some lingering back edge precipitation, more on the lighter end early Friday morning. And that will be mostly from the triangle to the east. And then the 5-day total, not very different than what you'll see on Thursday. So you can kind of think of this as a storm total for the forecast there. And we'll dive into that here in a little bit. As for the excessive rainfall outlook, no flash flooding is expected within the next 3 days. Not surprisingly, since we'll be sitting under high pressure. But I did want to highlight, as for Thursday, so far there hasn't been anything outlooked for Thursday. Probabilities of less than 15%, which is equivalent to a slight risk, has not been put anywhere within central North Carolina. So far, not expecting any, at least slight risk for Thursday. And why I kind of highlight the slight risk is if we look at the precipitation percent normals from the past 7 days, so the past week, You can kind of see out in the western Piedmont this light blue, dark blue, and even some purples showing up down here towards Charlotte and upstate South Carolina. Those all areas are well above 150% normal rainfall for the past 7 days. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, since that is the area of most likely that we're going to see the heavier rainfall totals, to see some sort of expansion or a marginal of some kind. And even if we look back into the previous 14 days, you can even see some of these light greens, dark greens, and blues, and that's all above 100% normal rainfall for the past 2 weeks. Also, you can kind of highlight this area where we had our drought conditions. Very, very dry. Numbers are right around 5% normal for the past 2 weeks. So you can see why those drought conditions are prevailing and may even worsen, especially with high pressure over us through Wednesday and then missing out on the beneficial rain on Thursday. So here's a quick blown up view of what I mentioned as a storm total in air quotes there for Thursday into Friday, since all of our rain in the 5-day period is falling on Thursday night into Friday. And as you can see, the western Piedmont right around 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, with closer to inch totals, 1.25 inches down towards western North Carolina into upstate South Carolina. And then again, very much missing out on some of the heavier rainfall totals in the drought areas. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some sort of marginal risk as we approach and gain more confidence and comes into the time frame of WPC's excessive rainfall outlooks across the western Piedmont, given those totals. How about severe? So far we're not expecting any severe at this time, and that's mostly due to the level of certainty or uncertainty that we are looking at for Thursday. So again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all dry. Thursday is the main time frame. The big question mark is going to be the amount of instability, and that's a measure of storm fuel, as we like to say. More instability means you have stronger updrafts, which means you have better rain production and heavier rainfall totals and potentially severe weather. So that is the big question mark surrounding Thursday. And if we see some increasing in probabilities of instability across the area, that will increase our severe risk while also increasing our precipitation production. And maybe those totals across the western Piedmont may be a little bit higher. So we'll keep that in mind. Again, confidence and certainty is a little bit lower at this time, but we will see as we approach. So stay tuned, and we will definitely provide those email briefings as well. Looking a little bit farther ahead, quickly, so the 8 to 14 day outlook, lots of red on the temperature graphic there. 70 to 80% chance above normal above normal temperatures from the 16th to the 22nd. So again, that is the average temperature throughout from the 16th through the 22nd. The average temperature has a 70% to 80% chance to be above normal. And for your reference, above normal would be for the maximum temperature above 51 degrees, and for your minimum temperatures above 30 degrees. Usually with warmer weather comes precipitation as well, chances. So not surprisingly, we see a 33 to 55 or 50% chance, excuse me, of above normal precipitation for that same time frame. And again, for reference, around 9/10 of an inch or right around an inch is near normal rainfall for specifically Raleigh, North Carolina. All right, just in a quick little summary, again, high pressure hanging out for us through Wednesday with a warming trend 10 to 15 degrees above normal, and a strong cold front approaching on Thursday, which is the time that we'll most likely be watching for any precipitation and any severe weather. And then cooler conditions follow that high pressure behind the cold front, bringing us to near to slightly below normal for mid-January. Again, no hazardous weather is expected at this time, but as we approach Thursday and confidence increases and the finer details become more clear, we may see us outlooked in some form or fashion, so stay tuned for that. And I appreciate you all joining us today. Thank you so much for joining, and hope you all had a great weekend and have a good rest of your week. Thank you so much.